Fourth dungeon. We're coming to the end of it. Finally. It only took, I don't even know how long. It's been so long. We've been doing this for too long. So sick of Persona.
Oh, finally, we're done with this. Okay.
Oh, we're done with 4 of 7. I guess, hey, in some ways, that's heartening. We're more than halfway through. We only got like, I don't know what the next, I guess from what I've been told, it's the Morgana and Haru Palace. Haru is one of the more forgettable characters of the game. But hey, she's still a member of the team. And then it's the 6th palace, which is, let's be honest here, it's gonna be Side Nojima's palace, right?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm assuming.
I think we've got all the clues at this point in time. You never left the palace in the tutorial. Nojima is such a big part of it. I don't know why she has a casino, though. That's the only thing yet to be. Obviously, she's kind of a big asshole, so...
Twisted
she's
sister,
going to have a palace?
your time has come.
No, those boys don't want to play no more, so say.
Look up the Wikipedia article for that. That's pretty interesting. Just...
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause you're...
motoring.
What's your price for flight?
It's an eyeball. That's not right.
Well, I mean, it is right, unfortunately. I mean, there's no reason why it should be an eyeball. Oh, right, and then there's going to be the 7th palace, which I assume is Shido. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I might as well finish that thought before we go straight into Sister Christian.
Oh, and the boy who wants to play the detective.
Yeah, Goro, but I assume Goro's probably going to be with Nojima's palace, because he's the boy detective and whatever.
Yeah, that would make sense. He's
also like the one character that's gotten a lot of build up.
Yeah.
We've seen Haru here and there. I mean, we even saw like Anne well before she got inducted into the team. But
then again, what happened to the school assembly? They did a lot of build up for that. What happened?
Oh, we also got like a lot of information on Mishima, and now just like
I feel like Mishima should get his own little persona, just because I feel bad.
I was thinking about it a bit, like kind of in preparation for the episode, and I'm just like, man, is Mishima the best character in the game? Is Mishima who Joker should be?
I love Mishima. He really is the only character that I would say rises to the level of like a Danganronpa character, just like excellent.
He is like super flawed yet extremely enthusiastic. It's just like he actually has like he actually did some shit in his backstory, like for real, unlike everybody else.
Yeah, and he's like he's got like interesting skills. It's not just the skills that the game just gave him. Like, oh yeah, you can now you're.
He doesn't have the glamour. It's like, and just in general, it's like he's actually kind of a tragic character, because even as much as he's so enthusiastic about actually trying to do what's right. Phantom Thieves.
By the way,
Phantom Thieves with your quest for popularity.
I want to point out that it's really funny. They're like, oh, boss, we're really sorry for sneaking in so many times. Yeah, we won't do it one more time. Like, we're not, like, you can trust us.
Oh, I mean, he leaves his door open, so it's not like it's too difficult. Plus, he's not even in the house most of the time, so I guess it's easy to sneak in? What am I saying? Why am I defending them?
Yeah, also, I'm not mentally prepared. Great dialogue, by the way. Just, like...
Yeah. Well, hey, fair enough. She's still doing the whole... I mean, she's still taking on the persona of Alibaba and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, she is far from accepting of the Phantom Thieves, which has been reflected in the dungeon, etc., and so on. But yeah, I mean, it's like, man... I don't know, Mishima, it's just like, yeah, as much as we've been railing on him for being a huge nerd and everything, it's like, man, he is so much more interesting of a character.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he should, like, if it was actually like a Joker who had the passion of Mishima and like the desire to actually do good, stuff that like I've been talking about like this entire series about how like these guys don't do anything, or they only do it when it's convenient for them and it'll make them popular.
Yeah, like Mishima is
like he actually believes in that. And also, like, he has a real backstory, and he was more connected to the school. It's, just combine him with Morgana, and it's like, that should be Joker. If I was making this game, that would be Joker.
Yeah, and I want to point out,
Morgana.
That's basically what Danganronpa did with the first game. That was Makoto Naeji. That like, just a...
yes.
kind of a dorky, like awkward teenager who's a little bit too eager and just like gets shut down. My favorite part in that entire game is when this rich character, this rich asshole is just like, oh yeah, quiet down, Naiji, the adults are talking, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like they're the same age. So
that is so Mishima too.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't even invite him for sushi.
Like poor guy.
God, it's just like he was playing the minion for Kamoshida, he's playing the minion for the Phantom Thieves, and it's like that sucks. That sucks. He should have so much more of a role in the story.
I mean, he's way more.
He should be here right now.
Way more interesting than really everyone. Ryuji is the only one who even comes close to Mishima, and Ryuji is.
Yeah, I like Ryuji, and I like Morgana, but of course Morgana is a cat most of the time.
Yeah.
And also Morgana is also, kind of the harbinger of No, actually, you know what? I like Morgana. Screw it. I was gonna say that it's just like repetitive dialogue, but that's everybody.
Yeah. Morgana is the least unsatisfying
exposition,
character.
But it's like everybody's exposition. What am I even saying? It's like Morgana, yeah, legendary shit talker, but also person who at least wants to try to do good, except for the fact that they're a cat.
Also, I like
and Ryuji, who is just your typical teenager.
Yeah, we
all love him.
He's just like everybody's bro in high school. It's like, okay, you dope.
Huge asshole, but you know what? At least he's goddamn trying. And Yusuke and Makoto. And
so much of this game is just people standing around. Like, look, this feels like
I described it before. It's stage play style.
Yep. There's no urgency here. There's no narrative. There's no, it's like, there's no drama.
What? No urgency? We've got 29 days before Medjed, international hacker group who targeted us for no reason, does something. And it's our problem to fix.
Well, is that what we're doing by getting Futaba here? Like, are we getting...
They literally have no other plans.
I mean, so she's just like... So this almost reminds me of like a D&D group that I'm in the sense that it's just like... There's a lot of like these kind of breadcrumbs, and it's like we're just doing it because it's fun. But it's like, really, if this were like a narrative that we were presenting, it would be like, come on, you guys, go get the fucking central thing that you like. It's time to like finish this campaign already. Like,
well, yeah,
this is just a breadcrumb.
I mean, you can have like little vignettes, little acts, but it's like, yeah,
Well, if the vignettes were really entertaining.
Yeah, this was a trip to try and transcribe and like even attempt to translate, because it's like, oh, they're making up words in Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like, I don't know what this word means.
Yeah, I just finished playing the Zero Escape games, and that's another game where it's like, wow, they must have had to do a lot of like heroic localization efforts.
Oh God, I can only imagine. I mean, you're gonna be playing Somnium Files?
I might. I haven't played the third Zero Escape game, but yeah, I mean, I could just tell you.
Go switch the yolks inside of eggs.
I can tell you that there is a point in that game where that hinged on Q in Japanese sounding like Q in English, and it was like a base 26 thing. Like it was like, oh yeah,
Q in 9.
Yes.
Q meaning 9, or well, it means a number of different things, but probably 9 in this case.
I was amazed how much they kept up from the Japanese of just like all these ridiculous like math and science concepts, and just like they were so
tied explicitly to the language.
Like, imagine a game about base 9 in English and translating that to Japanese. Wouldn't that be a nightmare?
I wouldn't even know where to start. Of course, I don't really know anything about translation anyway. I'm really trying to get there, though. Pick back up flashcards, really trying to drill down on vocabulary.
Yeah, maybe do a game that isn't Persona.
Maybe do something that has like a little bit more interesting dialogue that you could really sink your teeth into or something. But anyway.
Something with more interesting characters than like
maybe something that's not 90% packing peanuts. All right, well, that's cute at least.
That was cute, yeah. See, okay, so here's I don't want to like shit on that because that was a really cute moment, but like they should have done an anime drop. Like I don't like that there's no animation in this game. It's really hindering the game.
It's really expensive to do animation for a 3,000-hour game like this.
Well, they didn't have to make it 3,000 hours.
We also maybe could have saved some of the budget of like, showing how hot Anne is and having everybody stare down her shirt and everything. You know, put that budget somewhere else, but whatever.
That's what
hey, is that going to happen in this episode? What? I didn't say that.
Is that? What do you mean again?
No, but kind of. No, but more accurately.
God
yes.
damn it! We already did that with
maybe a little bit. Just
desert.
a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit of boob jigglage. Don't worry. It's not anything truly obscene.
You know, to be honest, I don't really know how this change of heart thing works. I just accepted it because that's what you do when you're presenting fiction about, you know, about magical things. You just do it, and you don't explain every little facet of it. You just take for granted that the audience is going to go with you because you've got confidence in your concept. You don't just keep explaining.
Well, on one hand, how long did it take them to even explain why exactly the rest of Tokyo exists in the other world? They took so long, and that was a question I was asking for, what, 40 episodes? 50 episodes?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, on the other hand, it's like, how many times have we been told that it's just like the shadow is not actually the real person? Or this.
Yeah. Like,
or the thing we're seeing right now. It's like we get how the phone application works. Morgana, how do you get to the other world? You don't have a phone. How do you do it? Nobody's going to ask these questions.
These basic questions.
How did you find Kamoshida's palace? Can't we use that? No, we can't. Either it has to be a reveal that it's Sainojima's palace for the sixth one. I'm so mad. It's gonna be like another 20, 30 episodes.
By the way,
I'm becoming apoplectic again. Talk me down.
So I just want to say I will talk you down and I will soothe you because hopefully we've gotten the audio working, and so either this is gonna sound really stupid, it's gonna sound like normal, and it's not gonna sound good, or it's gonna sound great, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, the audio quality is much improved. What happened? What did you do? Well, we're finally recording it. Marty is recording it on his computer, while Doc records it on his. So
I mean, I record in the normal way, but you should be notably better. Maybe, I don't know.
It might be. It might not be. It might be awful, and it's just like
we might not even be able to salvage this recording if we really fucked something up.
Yeah, you might be like sitting there like, what? The audio sounds exactly the same, if not worse.
You might be sitting there being like, what? I can't even hear the other guy. You're just talking to no one, Doc. Unless I've always have been.
Honestly, maybe we just want to do that. Like, no, because it won't work because the audio thing, the explanation I just gave.
Yes.
It won't work.
Drowning in sloth. I mean, one, that's not what that says in Japanese. But they did say nothing about sloth. They just said they committed a great sin. But I thought this was the Palace of Wrath.
So
didn't I get like a Wrath crystal?
Just
a Wrath crystal?
So just to be clear, that was a failure of the localization, that Sin of Sloth thing. Like that was.
I'm not even entirely sure. Well, we'll have to see what the achievement is for this or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be like the Tomb of hey Morgana. Maybe it'll be like the Tomb of Sloth or something.
See, like occasionally when they do animation, it improves the game a lot. Just like those little like gestures, just like. Okay, coming out of the room and doing a drop like that. That's humorous.
I love these stupid
transitions, yeah.
Like, look at her head. Anyway.
Like, well, we're looking through, like, it's not water, it's not blood, it's just...
magic. Well, anyway.
Also, I just want to point out...
Yeah, the animations are good. Don't you remember, like, when we first went to Sakura's house and she snuck up behind Makoto? That was great. That was a good scene. I think at the time I even said, though, it's just like, juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Everything that it took to get us to that good scene was not worth it. But it was good for what it was.
Also, this is just a random gripe, but those masks are not fooling anyone, okay? Like, if you...
They're not supposed to. Who needs to be fooled by the Phantom Thieves?
Well, then why wear the masks in the first place?
Persona!
Oh, okay, fine.
It's the we all wear our masks. Some are silk and some are leather.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I think that is the least. Obviously nobody's gonna be fooled by this.
Okay.
I don't think anybody was ever. I should have just teleported up.
I just wanted to bring it up. Okay, so that's well explained. Okay.
No, I mean, I think that of everything to say, it's just like, no, the
That's
character
valid,
design's still
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the whole mask thing, yeah, you know,
Okay.
it's the persona, the mask you wear to show blah blah blah. You get it.
It's like the Joker. It says something about society.
Yeah, we live in a society. I'm a Joker, baby.
He thinks crime is funny.
That's right. I mean, I'm more of a Riddler type of character.
What is the deal with
you-
the Riddler?
Calendar Man. Anyway.
No, yeah, I'm famously the best Batman villain ever. What is that?
Who? I don't know. I just it looked interesting. Maybe it's supposed to be like ancient elevator or something.
Uh-huh. So this is the place that represents
Yeah, I
the towers.
guess.
Yep, this is the heart.
Hackerman, I'm in.
This is the heart of a hacker, all right. Ryuji
Yeah, I was
has,
trying to
like-
get a good look at what it was actually saying in the background, but I couldn't quite tell. Also, I don't care.
Yeah. Also,
I quickly became not care.
I want to point out, yeah, Ryuji has usually pretty good dialogue. Actually, like he just like that's a good like ridiculous like dialogue. Like, I mean, you've got really. It's just that they have so much like. It feels like there's so much bureaucratic like
90%
filler.
packing peanuts, as I said earlier.
Yeah, exactly. That's.
I still think that's the. I've had people ask me about that before because, of course, I rant about this game all the time.
Yeah.
As you do. But it's just like even if they cut down on like the repetitive dialogue and tightened up like a lot of the storyline a lot, I still don't think it would be a very good game.
It wouldn't be very
There's
good.
too many just like scenes that. Too many, hey, let's all give up and go out for sushi type of scenes out there. And plus, like, the whole weird morality and, like, main characters being so stupid.
Well,
But I still think that the game would be significantly better if they cut down on the fluff dialogue.
well, it would be quality. It's like quality of life thing.
Because, like, we don't need this.
Again, I just went through the Zero Escape game, the first two Zero Escape games. The second game has.
Well, why don't we fucking find out, Yusuke?
Well, the second one has all these like extra like scenes where it's like an overlay of a map, and you're just like this, blip on this screen going across the map, and it's like you can't skip them a lot of times, and it's like there's probably 2 or 3 hours of the game of like a 25-30 hour game just where you're just like watching this little blip on this map go from place to place. And it's just like, why did you put that in? Like, you could have just gotten rid of all of that, and it still would have been problems with the writing, but it would have been 3 hours that I wouldn't have had to spend watching a fucking blip on a map.
Did they, like, that was a DS game, so it shouldn't have been loading. They used cartridges.
I suspect that it was on such a budget that they they were not able to change it between the consoles, would be my guess, between the PC and DS. Not that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you played the PC version.
Yes.
I didn't realize it came out for PC.
That could be
I thought those games were only DS and
they,
3DS.
Well, they play like they're on a handheld, so.
Which, I mean,
It's not
handhelds are good for VS.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It was like, okay, I probably could have done without that extra like quality of life thing. And that's like this whole game is like there's a lot of these things where it's like, okay, cut that scene out. Like I don't like resent that it's here, but it also just used 10-15 minutes extra and didn't add anything to the plot of the characters.
I do resent that it's here.
I do,
because it really is so utterly pointless.
I resent that it's
in a
here
lot of
too.
ways.
I regret that
Like,
I
we
started
do not
that
need them
like
to
that.
say, "I wonder what's inside" when we walk up to a door. They just need to go through the fucking door.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kamoshida's Palace. Oh, I guess you weren't here for Kamoshida's Palace. So, you know what? Fair enough, Yusuke. Did you, like, we never really talked too much about that, but it's like, yeah, there was just like a huge pile of gold and stuff there. And that gold spends as well as anything else, as we've found out. They sell these mystical artifacts. This game. I mean, I don't blame him. You gotta get that cash, man. But whatever. Hey, this is an interesting scene.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Who could this mysterious character be?
It's a cognition.
Well, yes, obviously. How can that be? How can it be indeed?
Well, okay, so you got these palaces.
Yes. No, do the entire thing like the game would. Well, it's a little late for that. You blew off the top of it. Besides, you blew off the top of it like it's Mario 64.
Yeah, I was gonna say definite Mario
Yes,
64
thank
vibes.
you. I'm glad somebody else is on the same page. Now we can go get in through the top and get the thing and get the down to IROC boss easily enough. Instead of having to do the weird thing where you drop down from above like I did the first time I played the game. I didn't like. Well, how are you supposed to know that you went on top of each floor? Because it tells you in the hint for the stuff.
Yeah.
But look, I was pretty young when I played.
I think I also had like a guide for it. Like I don't remember exactly, but
no, Mr. Brady Games, Primo's strategy guide over here. I had to figure it all out myself.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of money apparently.
If I figure it out, like I said, I found my way on top of the IROC thing, and then I kind of like dropped down until I ledge grabbed onto it. Why do I remember this? That was very long.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I think I got lost in that level too the first time. Like I remember I was just like, well, okay, where do I go now? Like, okay, I saw something descending, and it's like you're supposed to get on that thing, and then it takes you down, but it's not clear at all what was going on. I agree. That was bad
anyway,
design.
hey, here's the ability you get from Kanashiro's palace. Pretty not bad at all is what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, I can't think of a thing to say about this. Like she's a sphinx. And
yeah, that's a sphinx with Futaba's mom's head on it.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. As always, I like it. It's neat. I don't know if it's as good as like some of the other weirdo bosses we've seen up to this point, but it ain't too bad.
Do you remember that one webcomic that had like a sphinx as a character, like as one of the main characters, and it was
absolutely not
okay, and it was like so impossibly wordy, like it was a joke how wordy it was. It was like, oh, okay, every panel would have like 200 words in there, and there'd be like 7 panels. And it was just all of this. You don't remember that? Okay. Well,
no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it definitely existed. Remember, because I had mixed feelings about it at the time, and it was like probably 2006.
So it was probably quite bad, in fact. There's Kamoshida's.
Oh, I think it was it Subnormality? Was that maybe it?
I've never heard of it,
okay.
So I have no idea.
Oh my god, it just got wordier and wordier over time. That's how this always goes. They leaned into it, which is usually alright. Alright.
Oh, hey, this is a classic thing in the Persona games wherein, you know, eventually, like, whoever is doing the scouting out or, you know, like, monster analysis stuff starts to not do it super good, and that's when they're going to introduce the next character who has the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It happened with Mitsuru back in Persona 3. It happened with Teddy in Persona 4.
Mm-hmm.
Happening now with Morgana, even though it's like, why do we need... Like, it's fairly obvious when she's going to be flying up and then coming down.
Mm-hmm.
She flies up in the air. Hey, it's a good thing we fixed Futaba's memories here.
Mm-hmm.
So she can be tortured with them.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. She shouldn't be here anyway. It's your own damn fault.
By the way, this reminds me of being John Malkovich. I'll just say it.
It's... yeah, but that scene was way better.
That was a really good scene. That was like the best scene in the movie.
That was a really good scene.
Yeah.
You got the singer on the table just saying Malkovich, Malkovich. That's great.
Yeah. Malkovich.
But
he goes through his own portal, is what happens.
Yes, if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, look it up. It's actually the movie itself is
It's about a famous actor who was in that one jewel heist movie.
Yeah, the movie itself is
just spend our
probably
time
a
referencing.
solid B, maybe B plus, but that was a
I would give it a B+.
yeah.
Have you ever read the alternate ending to it?
No, I think I might have at some point.
It's really wacky.
Yeah, I think I read about that at some point. But you know, Synecdoche Key, New York was like a spiritual sequel to that. There's another
I did not know that.
Charlie Kaufman one. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that
Oh,
one.
it's really good. You should check it out.
Throw that on the many other pieces of media that I still have yet to get to because
Yeah.
I've been spending so much time with Persona, really.
It's basically an entire movie that takes that scene as its inspiration, is how I'd put it. It's really wacky.
Weird.
Yeah.
Maybe I do have to check that out. Oh, yeah, anyway, the false memories and Futaba. Futaba, can you just take off the headphones for like 5 seconds? What are you even listening to here? My ears get cold.
That's a classic gamer girl trick. Like, they keep their ears hidden forever.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to be able to see the ears. That's against Twitch TOS. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know. I just say things sometimes.
Certainly, those shorts aren't though. Yeah. Oh, it's the reveal. It's yeah.
Okay.
Good people don't do bad things, as you know.
That's the theme statement of the game.
Yep. Only that we need to punish the evil, and good people are not ever evil ever.
That is really, yeah. It's almost like that's the only thing that's interesting ever in stories, is when good people are forced to do evil things, and evil people occasionally are forced to do good things.
Well, I mean, especially for a game that's all supposed to be about, like a group of anti-heroes, outsiders from society who, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Do you desire freedom from your chains, being imprisoned and everything for doing the right thing, main character?
Wait, 001 00011. Oh, that's just nonsense. All right, etc.
I think I saw 2 there. Vander, there's no such thing as 2.
I feel like the fact that Ryuji has so much of the burden of interesting dialogue on him actually harms the game, because Ryuji has to carry the dialogue, like the interesting dialogue. Same with Morgana.
I mean, but the thing is, Morgana can't even appear in so many scenes.
Yeah.
And Ryuji's whole thing is that he kind of fucks up everything that he goes into, which was true right up until we got Makoto, who, can actually talk to people. Talked about that, last time? 2 times ago?
69. Nice. Sorry.
You know that's the cancer symbol.
Oh, of course. No, I didn't know that.
Are you not familiar with astrological signs?
No, I'm not. Well, I
For shame.
one time I told an astrology group like my signs, and they told me get out of the group. You suck. You're born to be stupid. And I was like, all right.
I understand then.
I mean, they weren't wrong.
I do like that it's just like these guys did not figure out that was her mother. Stupid idiots. Well, hey, I mean, at least now your mom is back, even if she might be a giant muscular sphinx. That's cool.
It's kind of horrifying to have a human head on, like, is that how sphinxes normally were?
I think they might have actually been like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we think about like the statue, right?
Yeah.
That's a human.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like a lion body with wings.
Okay, I guess, yeah. Fair enough. It's just, I guess the Sphinx itself is what's horrifying, not their interpretation.
Yeah, it is like a giant, it is like a giant lion.
Yeah.
So, yes, as it turns out, Futaba's mother was murdered. And they blamed this small child and made sure to tell her how...
So who was the murderer then? Is it just the people who was...
I don't know, these guys in black suits, because she was getting too close to the truth of supernatural cognitive science. And they had to blame it on somebody, so they blamed it on the child. And then they told her about it, which is the wackier thing. Oh my god, this game.
is such a ridiculous...
I mean, it's just like, you know, you set your expectations so low and Persona even manages to disappoint
I've got a
you.
recommendation here. This reminds me of the Philip K. Dick short story, We Can Remember That For You Wholesale. I think it was...
Oh, yeah. That was the one that inspired Total Recall.
Yes, it was. The ending is very different, and this reminds me of the ending to the book, but as far as I can tell, not the movie.
Yeah, the movie was... it was something. It wasn't terrible, I'd say. But yeah, it's just like...
It's just like, oh, you were right. Not only were you right all along, but the entire universe is conspiring to show you that you were wrong, and...
The entire universe has been conspiring against you up until this point.
Yeah. Like, that's not even...
But as it turns out, your mother was actually just the best person.
Yeah.
And everybody else was in a massive conspiracy against you, a small child.
Yeah. It's like a...
Which, you know, again, it's like... I guess this would be kind of interesting if it wasn't basically the exact same thing that happened to the main character.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like...
And, you know, fucking everybody. Like, all the time.
Yeah, and the whole thing is like, well, we didn't punish the right people. We didn't find the right people who were evil. It's like, I've seen people describe their DMT trips kind of like this, where it's just like, oh yeah, you know, reality was breaking down. It turned out there was a conspiracy, and like these monkeys, these brilliant monkeys lived in the universe, and you know, all that stuff. Universal breakdown, everything that you...
It reminds me of like a description I've heard of like flat Earth's theory, where it's just like, no, you don't understand. All the mechanisms that cause the world to continue to work as if it was round are actually all fake. So this must be a grand conspiracy, grander than anything else. Like, the reasoning for it is unfathomable, but clearly this is proof as to why that is in fact the case.
Oh yeah, and the problem is that it's in service of like this really boring traditional like Japanese morality, and like it's just not very interesting.
Yeah, just kind of like a dumb morality tale.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
It's just like, if they were saying, oh yeah, well, your reality isn't like, it has been altered, but it's because you were so evil that we had to change your reality or something, like, whoa, like that would totally blow your mind.
Or like,
think,
you know,
I'm this, decent school kid, and it turns out my whole reality is, oh, I was actually a terrible person. I actually was a serial killer, and they made me, something like that.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, the sort of like reasoning why there's a conspiracy against her is to make everybody look better in her case.
Everybody around her better, her narrative justified, her mother justified.
Mother justified, Futaba justified, and who's
even Sakura, like, oh, he wasn't suspicious at all. He's harboring this terrible secret of somebody who was blamed unfairly, and there's nothing we can do to fix it.
Entirely blameless.
Everyone is entirely blameless except the people in black suits who are...
Except for these meaningless... well, maybe they're probably gonna be tied in with whatever Shido is doing in the end, right?
Because all villains are tied together.
Yeah, I mean they are though. The schoolmaster is working directly for Shido. Shido was the person that got main character in trouble in the first place. I guess Madarame and like Kaneshiro didn't have anything to do with each other. Let me think.
Weren't they?
I mean, no, I guess not.
Weren't they vaguely connected to Shido though, or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, okay, there you go.
Well, yeah, I guess it's not everything's connected, but it's just like the fact that Shido has connections to both, like, probably this.
Well,
let's just see how it plays out, I suppose.
Well, also, it's not just that it's this ridiculous, like, okay, this conspiracy, everything is a conspiracy against you, but then it's not just that it's a ridiculous morality play, it's that we spend, like, an hour, like, figuring it out. Like, we spend just hours, like, okay, unpacking this horrible thing. We did the same thing with Yusuke and Madarame, where they just like the whole like fight that Madarame is in. He's just like describing all the ways that he was
he was extremely terrible explicitly to Yusuke.
Yeah.
And how he benefited everything from his mother dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, don't you understand? It's just like, by your mother dying, I became that benefited me so greatly that I had to kill it. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like
it's like I could not be more evil.
Like the thing about
and explicitly evil towards you.
Like we talk about like cartoonish evil, but it's like there's a reason like Bugs Bunny and like Elmer Fudd, like those aren't like like they're cartoonishly evil, but they're not like committing genocide or something. They're just like ridiculous people, you know, like they're just, oh, this guy.
They're not torturing a young girl by telling her that she killed her mother.
Yeah, exactly. Like cartoonish evil would imply that there's some kind of fun going on here. This just isn't fun. It's just like, oh, like it's like
no, it's just really dumb.
It's just somebody,
and it's like, to be honest here, I don't even really know what I'm saying for like half these points that I'm bringing up right now. Like the whole thing with like Shido conspiracy, I don't know, man. I'm just mad and trying to parse it out in my brain.
I'm the same way. Like I feel like what I'm saying is pretty much.
It's like, are we really talking about like morality tales, or are we just trying to like grasp some reason why this is awful?
Like we know this is awful. We figured that out. We're intelligent people, and we're like maybe, but we can't articulate it. It's just. It's beyond it's beyond our capacity.
Grasping at straws is what this episode is about.
Yes.
But you know what? To be honest, I'm really prepared for this one. Usually I at least like give some big thought to the stuff that's going on here. And aside from Mishima as the main character, it's like that's all I brought to the table. And we still got almost 15 minutes
How do
left.
we have only 15 minutes left? How do we have 15 minutes left?
Oh, this is a big fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real with you. The fight against Wataba's mom is actually like for real the most difficult fight in the game.
Did you like it?
Far.
Would you think it was good?
No. The unfortunate thing is due to the way that the hardest difficulty, what is it called again? Merciless difficulty?
Yeah.
It's like technicals, weaknesses do like 4 times damage both to you and enemies. And the thing with Futaba's mother is that she will inflict you with a status effect that will make it so that she gets a technical on doing a physical attack, of which she has one that just hits the entire party. Which means that she'll get like 4 turns in a row, and they're all doing 4 times damage against anyone that has that. She'll take out the party like lickety-split. It's really ridiculous.
By the way, I just want to point out, Doc, like, people may not know this if they don't watch this series, which, I mean, if you're one of the 10 people who tunes in, thanks, you're supporting us.
It's episode 59, and you've been over the course of 2 years.
You're the reason we keep doing this. That's not even true.
No, it is. I could stop at any time, but I won't.
But anyway, you are doing this on the hardest difficulty. You're doing this on Merciless.
Yes.
Just...
Well, it was hard difficulty for the original one, and then we switched it over to Royal, like, flipped it up even higher. Because, you know, why? I think, like, literally in the first episode I said, if you're going to town, why not go to town to Lincoln?
That rules.
To be fair, it's like, I do genuinely like a lot of the
the gameplay
of this
seems
game
fine.
when it actually happens.
Yeah.
It's just exceptionally difficult. Merciless mode is not created for this fight in particular.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and here's where I just kind of decide to torture Futaba for no reason. Not in that case, but in every other one. Also, maybe a thing that perhaps made this fight a little bit more... I won't say one way or another. I mean, you know, yeah.
Also, this is such a frustrating bit of dialogue. Like, you're really just telling it way too much. Just have a couple lines that establish what's happening and go.
Oh, this is the build-up for the dungeon. I'll give them this one.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, like, maybe she would have done something a little bit more useful there if I wasn't being a total shit, but I wanted to see if something different was going to happen, if I'm being honest. Or if there's going to be no consequences, or if main character is going to pull an Omicron and just be a total asshole with no consequences for it. Oh, just the worst. I mean, I guess he's not going around and murdering people yet.
So wait, you haven't even started your moves, and already you're down 2 party members?
Yep. I told you, the technical means she gets an extra turn. So, and she'll hit me with a... I think she gets 2 turns already for every one of my turns, my party's turn, which fair enough. I have 4 people. She only has 1. But it's like, yeah, she can hit me with status effect, followed by physical attack, which does technical, which gives her another attack to just really, and of course, you know, she's already doing extra damage as it is. You know, that wing attack, it does like, I don't know what it is, like blinded or something, and that sets you up for technical, basically. It's also wind attack, which means I couldn't have Ryuji in the battle.
Okay.
Not that he would be very good. You have to use like skills or guns when she's not on the ground. There is a way to get her on the ground. Yeah.
This is.
But you know,
I do like how ridiculous this. Like, this is over the top. This is like a nightmare.
how dare you? Children going against their parents should die. Shut up, Mom. You're not my real mom.
You're not my real mom.
I'm losing it. I don't know how I didn't get that dialogue. For some reason, it didn't appear in the English.
Okay.
But that's my super rough translation there. I think you get it. Anyway, she takes a lot of damage from physical attacks, though, thankfully, which is why I was able to kind of hurry up this fight enough to actually win it this time. The worst part is that if you do die, it does roll you back, not for the entire fight, but until basically Futaba runs up there. And you do gotta watch the entire cutscene again. And the entire reveal, the shitty reveal.
You can't skip that?
I mean, you can make it go faster, but it still plays out. It's just in like 4 times speed.
Okay.
He's not great. Look, as always, when it comes to doing a bit of post-commentary stuff here, I'm trying to spare you some of the really bad parts of the gameplay, which is, I guess, skipping through dialogue. Yeah, that is technically. I wouldn't. That's you press a button to advance dialogue. To be honest, I would have actually liked to have kept some of the other fights that I had, some of the other attempts in the fights. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It already is a pretty long fight as it is. Because some interesting stuff happened there. There's some really cool close calls, good hits, and you know, stuff like that. But it's not worth it. As much as, again, I was also kind of just skipping past the dialogue and not actually reading it. Okay, you know what? It wasn't just to see if anything was changing. I was just skipping through the dialogue and not even bothering reading it. Fine, you got me.
I was not accusing you of that at all. I did not even...
Well, that's what it is.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe if I read the dialogue, I would have had a little bit easier time with it. Whatever. So abnormal. I think you're getting the message kind of mixed here, Sphinx Mom. I mean, I kind of suspected that this might be the case when that cutscene kept playing over and over, but whatever. I was also kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to do it anyway. I could read the dialogue and figure out what I actually need to answer, but fuck it. Also, this is the great part because I think she actually starts to, after getting hit by the ballista once, get even more turns, and when she gets a bunch of turns in a row, the animation... basically, when she's attacking, look in the upper left corner.
Okay.
And even though I'm at full health right now, and she's actually fairly low, it's still like at any point in time, that's an attack power down and everything too. Try and just get this working for me as best I could. Ammo replenishes after fights in the Royal, but yeah, like watching the upper left corner.
That's good.
Nah, it's just It's just like, yeah, when she gets a bunch of turns in a row, it looks terrible. Oh, this one sucks, because I don't even know what is actually required to cure that status. Not that it really matters. I was kind of expecting this to be like a, kind of the end of that one, but it's like 1 pixel of health left. All it would take is just, you know, 1 decent hit. I got, it's very bad.
Yeah, there you go.
I got wind resistance on and everything, so I can take at least the wing hit, if not the pause. Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. Last ditch effort. And nope. However,
Were you out
the
of
whole
healing,
wind
or were
reflect
you just
thing.
like?
Yeah. No. But yeah, I just skipped.
Okay.
Here. It's like we're not gonna watch the entire thing. It was just basically, like I was saying, I just don't even. Some interesting stuff happened in this fight. I got some good clutch moves and everything, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it to actually show. Maybe. No. But yes. Okay, whatever, man. That worked. And that's, I mean, that really does speak to the difficulty of the fight.
Yeah, so she really doesn't have. She's got a pretty mixed message here.
Well, I mean, she's not even a real character.
Yeah.
It's just Futaba's basically despair and Psyche fighting back against her or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I birthed you and I can unbirth you.
That was great moments in localization.
That should have been what they. No, it actually should not have been what they said. The thing I said was terrible. And now over Futaba's mother's dead-ass corpse. Let's get the victory screen.
Yay! Hooray! We won! It's done.
We killed your mom. Like, do we have to do it over her corpse?
Let's go. Hooray!
Yeah, get like
You got a new Pokemon.
What is that? Status ailment up, I think. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh boy. So hey, you got a really dopey looking UFO. I gotta say, it's just like, I know they're challenging with some of these Persona, but I don't think they quite match up to the actual character designs themselves. Yeah, look, it's just, that's how it works for everybody. I don't know. Whatever. You seen Ryuji's outfit? He's got like a metal spine and skin-tight clothing and like a red ascot. What is even going on? It's a bold look, but like, it's just what happens. We don't get to choose our clothes. Though clearly Joker is the winner here.
See, this is one of those things where it's like, why do they include this scene? Like you've already established like the mom wasn't real, and now we're giving us the catharsis of the real mom, and it's a little bit like ridiculous.
But Futaba's learning to forgive herself. Whatever. Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like we get it.
This feels like the Lion King.
Yeah, it's like we know that's what this is all building up to. We didn't need to have this. Whatever.
It's just like telling you the morals. This is like a 3-year-old like dialogue.
Well, that's Persona all over. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're doing this for a reason. My pace. I guess that's a phrase in Japanese. That's a nice thing about actually working with, not just like example sentences from textbook or something. You get to see some of the like actual expressions.
Yeah.
More casual dialogue. It's empty, like Futaba's soul.
No, it was a metaphor. You fools.
Literally.
Wait,
I figured
really?
it,
He
but
just says
also,
that.
Whatever. Did you forget what happens when you take the treasure? Or I guess it's also destroyed? You idiots.
We gotta get out of here.
Every single time. Every single time. They do not remember how this works. Hey, anime cutscene.
This is pretty enjoyable. Morgana just like hopping down.
And there we go. I told you it was gonna happen. Oh, and also speaking of unbirthing.
Not that far. He's just like really far away.
I don't like that Morgana can do that.
Uh-huh. That's got some interesting tags.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I just whatever. We'll leave the comment section for anybody that's still watching these videos at this point. Parse that one out. How does this keep happening with Yusuke and Anne? Yeah, I know. Don't worry, don't even worry about
We're
it.
just hanging out.
Playing stickball, smoking pot, whatever. You know,
Yeah,
teenager
just
stuff.
say, just like lie, like just make it clear that you're fucking lying. Why would Futaba
Why
be with
not?
us?
She's like, what are you gonna do about it, old man? It's like, I'm your adoptive father.
Oh.
I thought we trusted each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Sakura, I love you. And then they hug.
I just like
Fine, then you're gonna come with us, you
that this dialogue tree is just like, oh well, we just woke up. We just woke up, and Sakura's asking us what we're doing, so we all immediately act in the most suspicious way. Just like, oh, I don't know what we're doing here. We're just here, I guess.
Well, it doesn't really matter. We're talking about Persona. It's just like suspicious is just how it do.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the end of the episode.
Okay.